awie ama abansesa aba na enemu na His Excellency John Dramani Mahama say oba ye no looking at the figures infrastructure na nkasa a hostage dwumadie no feeding accreditation in fact the expenditure of games in a course awon kan no yenye a forensic audit into it na yenhwe se bibia no ekoyi ana now social figures ni bia according to Mpenifo after your ball games in we no almost say Ghana yedisika $245 million and yedi eye dwumadie no where's infrastructure contracts how do I demand ye analysts and now officials on be dwumadie nim in fact obia ono so ebedi dwumadie ewo dwumadie na se no so okeka bibia bo masika edi ana spend ye no eye $245 million. Na Oshe infrastructure, for instance, the University of Ghana Stadium na one of the infrastructure the hostage Medino. According to Mpenifo, almost the 34 million. And the UG Stadium, no, that is the completion. After the Botema Sports Complex. And also, no, according to Mpenifo, no, almost say almost spend $145 million. And Botema Sports Air Complex, no. After the game village, baby, ana di dwumadie no ebi edano na omudi akodi dwumadie no and also no yes spend $16 million. $16 million. And yede game village no afei eba no accreditation so obi enya to me and answer accessibility to dwumadie no enso ase no and also almost spend $4.5 million for accreditation and afei feeding say omomudi dwumadie no ade amayen omodi diem ni bibia so no and so ebo Ghana ka $15 million for feeding share the period ye games no na figures iba abonten me kai pass ya ball dwumadie ni wie no ye kra no ye be cheche adu say na Ghana ye tu sabi ye kobro ni krom ene akobo besi aba na ye nso dia be ye niema amanfo tikrom a sabi ye nyansupa nom ya kwanye ye pressing issues bebre a ye pesika kra dia ya ye nya bi na ye games kakra ye ne sisika nko a ye de ewura into feeding no $15 million dollars there we dey adabraka am say buom dodo and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama abai no and or say wa order the Auditor General say yenye a forensic audit yenhwehwem from awards of contracts, procurement and infrastructure na yenhwe na afi yenhu say ampa Ghana for yesika na ediko wura adwumadim sebi obi amfa kana chichibi enso amfa sika no enso ebi asabi bai enipa dodo na na achechomadwe enso abese dia no tum kakra ewi ana afi the big gamer ebekoso wo dia transfers nyame yadmo chena 4 p.m. House of Folk to my sense no game ni abo or tactical board no ne be lines no at the amamo this time in Sasha say a free Bismarck Owusubempa Ayala yembo no pa ne family kotokone house game no ala so utie figures ya makikanya when you say me buy I mean you've utie commentaries among for running on ACK yes spend all African games now obia na wow in Ghana you sika say and so share expenditure is here aduane nkwenkodi accreditation any accreditation the dey nkwane ye the gold na ya na ensam no aye bebre president say yenkwohwehwem minim dia wo ka fa na afei If you make a cana, you need to go in company.
Rich. My first comment on this issue, ASA, and I wanted to put on record. Rich, uko baby uyasia. Adia your friend Ketas she any prayer dear bro from your friend corruption. Ye measure through public perception.
The nipa do no adwene ye wo.
Sane dey measure corruption. And the difference between Ketas sharing prayer level say what Ghana. Any Ketas share any prayer level say what say Netherlands, ana Angola, ana Kenya. Ye measure no say udru kro ni mu a. Na oni umanfo di nkomo a. Nsɛm a ɔmo bɛka kyerɛ wo ɛfa Ketas ne prayer ɛwɔ kro ni mu no. Ɛne ne yɛde measure. So corruption everywhere in the world is measured by perception index. Now, Rich, society dia. Anyway, in the context of Nkomoya Yedi, you know, Rich, we have a big problem with democracy now.
Yeah, practice.
Yeah, practice of Ghana, no, in connection with corruption.
Okay.
I didn't make us. Rich, African Games, you know, and then a course go. A course, I think in 2023.
Yeah.
Rich, African Games in a course, no. For those who don't know, $245 million now. What can one say? And no, Minister say, ye can't ye African Games in Aboma. And yes, Sika, ye dear African Games, you know. Rich, says Sika. It was approved by Parliament out of Busiabia. Ye de Ghana ye good ye. Eko ya waje ye. And umute says Sika do be say, ye near for organize African Games, you know. Tie
the Japadi kusia wa. And ye de ko J's.
And ye Busia.
Okay.
And ye mu be my and say, oh, must ye pescadia co organize African Games. And ye Sikana ya kwa jeno. Munyimu $245 million. Now mu fan ko organize African Games. Now Rich. Sir Parliament. A representative house of Yenina. $245 million. I did Mimi no din. Any a good year. I could jina aje. And a certain people say, Munjana Mufonko spend it on a certain event. Rich, are we saying, say, the only time Yen Tima Mufono, Ebenya Reshemu say, Sasikana Yadema Nkofobino, Omo Buwa Kunta Buniye, Nasa Obi Anya Nyoma ya, Yetimidi Nako Jinam Rakwano, Aye say, after 2 years when government assassin, now President Fufu Bibeba, now Obaka say, I didn't wait the NI before the report to be a breme. And reports na Mesakaino, and young Shemu Feda. Is that the democracy we are practicing in this country? So then, your democracy structure, checks and balances in a way. Rich, since our same way by Mati, a lot of media houses, including multimedia platforms, yet as far back as okay, Honorable Kobiwayomi. During that time, no, on a parliamentary select committee of sports, no, Dano, all making allegations of a new Mawajiri Uncle Ye with the organization of the African Games. I mentioned figures with IMCCSA. the way nkofoi sikombo bodi de or jiri say no maybe ankoye na rich me problem nie if as at that time the parliamentary select committee chairman on sports and certain youth ebe keche say sika ya parliament ejetu mu de man yen ministry no with which I maybe here parliamentary select committee chairman or hono as an NDC person me tina chira no me hwe de wi ankofo no akọ spending sika na me tinu mu ntreme rich and it ended with media commentary and interviews. Are we saying say o man we mu no rich say enye president bi and an order for forensic accountability and can you de enkomo and they say they say dream bi wo but you need evidence inti but etik I say you de enkomo saa na kapum
na Ayala multimedia way oye sure say multimedia be man wo Ayala sika say fa kwedi dwuma bi na wi am ebu akunta na ukokwa
na beda ne nkomodie ya fa ne se fia yi na ya pugu budget bi ama sports for say sports mo fa nko outdoor ye ko ba ye no I say inkufo si ye na we
figures aye bubo ani am for kura nwenwi me Ayala onum de ma me yem hye enyo all African games ni ebo wie ya na volunteers yi at a point ekodane ntokwa ne ade kura ne ntu omo gai enye sa game na
I was going to go there.
Oh God,
I was going to go there. Enye volunteers nko hoteliers ehona me wie rich and see the first point I'm best me and say me pese me kase so and say obi a wo tie me voice bia afei ya rich ya tie sie die ntia keta asese ne proye ebe koso akona nimo Ghana anytime ye be research on us because for ye intimate for no ye ni say the structure of your democracy no let me take care of corrupt practices on its own. The structure of the democracy deals with this issue. It takes an extra political will and commitment from a president and so it may institutionalize an investigation into BBTCSA. What Usi Abontia the Ghana for you can say okay and she said Nhyira will be to say Mahama or a president. What it meant is that Ede Diano a team say African games he the you say no maybe ankosi but I can know and rich that is the basis of your corruption perception. That is the basis because even when a man for an asset for a suspect say and no maybe in Churchill rich the institutions within our government system doesn't deal with it and it leaves it like that. Yeah, extra political will. Now rich breakdown name for an African games near already now Oko University of Ghana. Rich on the time of university, I could be 15 years in here. Even time I'm only one. The University of Ghana Stadium was there. And Omo Munim Mibia Ebedima dance here. This is radio. Me can control that. The last Wow games are a boy during your time. Because around 2007, 2008. 2009 more 2010 go back to 2005 near no look Palawazi money Isaac Kofi money you and the University of Ghana Stadium won their ball games I won their ball now and to me rich University of Ghana before latest Nancy and Kofoko games I had watched games at the University of Ghana Stadium as far back as 15 16 years ago now rich sa facility na na won. The former minister for youth and sports say we had to spend
Mustafa Yusuf.
We had to spend $34 million from Obia Otiemibia, the Lagos Stadium you knew then, to the one you know today, no, the difference is $34 million. This is what the minister told us. I am not making any conclusion. But now we stadium na American wasam na. Na enei uhu stadium na American wasam na. The difference is 34 million. Now rich. So Legona. There were some hostels around the University of Ghana Stadium. Na ehona na yesi edibeye Games Village. The hostels were there.
The innovation. Now
hostels no. Almost we have to add some modernization into who's a normal hostel. You need water heaters and it's no. Rich, sir, modernization touches na the kind. Minister Yusuf say, and no cost Ghana $16 million. Me, I'm only reminding people what we are investigating. Rich, bottom and facility na owning now. Minister say we spent $145 million and this year. And the infrastructure and no mommy say about Games Village, UG completion, any bottom no, yes, spending 195. Rich, who we are? Minister say operational costs. Oh, you better way, you better ha, you better fuck away, you better petrol, you better say. And you might, the operations around the games, no, it cost almost 48 million. And no one about from one, Ubenya feeding 15 million, accreditation 4 million. Now, Rich, in conclusion, maybe now Ujinano.
Volunteers in the hotel.
About the saying, Rich, upon all this sika, na echichi soon. Raise eyebrows. Na emayem sisi ni nyina achi no. Volunteers etietia. Hospitality industry. 40 hotels, 40. Eso so ba bonte beka say African Games na ya ba wie no. Omo de eka o because apart from athletes and officials omo go that Games Village no. There were some hotels so a dey high delegation for you do mbeda. Rich and what you know? What is it? Your instructive investigation way and a revelation ever say, oh, that's African Games in the bar. Country beyond the contingent of the banner. They are supposed to pay for their own feeding. Per delegation beyond, they are supposed to pay every day beyond this amount of dollars. To the hosting say, Munjina Munkamun for Nuja. So emudu say the tia emudu say the entia and sasi kana buy an asa ambano. How do we do the plus and minuses from the 15 million? People are raising issues say some media accreditation na it cost you $4 million no. What does it entail? Rich unim yeah enya ye ni ebebu obi atin
president say nko wi mu
enya ye ni ebeka say obi diska na so obi niska. But my biggest challenge, and I say, if it hadn't taken President His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, we Ghanaians are we supposed to accept? Say, your democracy, any structure now, your parliament, any your auditors general, anyone why, shraj, all the institutions are you put it together to ensure checks and balances in public spending. No, none could have dealt with this issue. I'm Ghana ni bi anya adwumu fine kase. Oh, adie we the woman here who know, and we've gotten to the bottom of it. It had to take a president instruction, a will, a political will from one person within the structure, and sana yet made to sana more way. I'm a Ghana for nya say now the right things are being done there. The rich. We are in a very, very big problematic country, and it's our fight against corruption. No, Rich, we are nowhere close to it. We are nowhere close to it.
Any league in Hong Kong, na week 9 here, room and started with Nation Service.